So welcome to the show, everyone. As you all know, I made it possible for everybody to talk about what they do on my show. And I've had people from all over the world on the show. If you want to get yourself heard on the show, just go up onto my website, go to networkingarizona.net, and we will go ahead and we'll tell everybody a little bit about what you do when you see all the plethora of people that I've had on for 13 years here on KFNX. We're live on Facebook, so hi to everybody out there. Like us and follow us. We're going to be sharing the show in just a little bit. I'm going to go in with my first guest, who I'm so excited is back here today. I am so intrigued by her, number one, just because of obviously what you do and all of the different modalities that she works with. I have with me T. She's the owner of Enerchi, which I absolutely love, you know, the way to play on with all of your words. You have a wellness center. And your wellness center that you have, you do so many different modalities, and I love every single one of them, and you're always adding more as well. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do, and kind of what we're going to kind of focus on today. Go ahead.
So my name is T. I'm with Enerchi, and I'm a hypnotherapist and an energy worker, and I do all sorts of things, including emotional freedom techniques through tapping. I want to talk today about manifestation. Most people that come to see me, hypnosis is part of what they do, and these other things are add-ins.
You know, it's really neat what you do, because there's a lot of people that deal with a lot of issues, and there's different ways that you can handle those things, right?
Yeah.
And when you work with people, first of all, I want to what it looks like, you know, when someone calls you, because, you know, they have to be ready, right?
Yes.
They have to want this. You do free consultations. When they call you, let's talk a little bit about what that looks like and how you kind of start getting to know them and how you work with them. And then I want to talk a little bit about manifestation.
Right.
And then, of course, I also want to talk about the tapping. Whenever you talk about that, it always intrigues me. Go ahead.
So when somebody calls me, the first thing that I let them know is I require a free in-person consultation that could last 10 minutes or it could last 3 hours. It doesn't really matter, and let them know why. First of all, it's there to, after they meet me, maybe they don't think that I can help them, and I am okay with that because I want to help people. So I let them know to expect that, and get to know them a little bit better, and let them know this will be a really intimate experience. And it's not something that's taken lightly, and then start finding out a little bit about them before they even come in. And then after that we meet, and then we decide if we're going to work together, which we do.
Right, and most people do, because they are definitely, everybody's reaching for help today, and especially now. I mean, oh my gosh, the last year or so that we've had, and it's continuing, it hasn't stopped, where people are dealing with stress and all sorts of things. You had talked about manifestation, and I want to talk a bit about that, and because so many people, we manifest good things and bad.
Well, and that is absolutely true. So what our thoughts are more powerful than we think. Our thoughts attract our reality, and you may have heard of the book The Secret. It's similar to that. So manifestation, especially with this whole, COVID-19 and all of these negativities going on in the world, there's energies out there that are being picked up by people, and a lot of people are feeling hopeless on many levels. Financially, some people lost their jobs because of COVID. Relationships, things are really, struggling right now. And when you're like that, it's so easy to stay down in that dip and not look up and say, this is temporary and I'm going to be there. And so I help people to climb out of there, to realize this is a temporary dip.
Yeah, and we're going to open up the lines to the audience for people to get entered in to win. This is a wellness therapy session, and it includes a multitude of different modalities, if I say it that way. And so everyone's going to get entered in to win that. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. What I absolutely love about my show more than anything in the world is that it is all this information for people, right?
Yes.
And the information is not necessarily who you're talking to, but who they know, right? And so many people out there, when you're listening to this, call in. Maybe it is you. Maybe it is someone that you know. And get this. It's a free session for you to find out exactly how she can possibly help you, or someone that you know. Our number here again, 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. She likes to do these in person. This is important. Now, you know, because a lot of people have been saying, oh, you know, I can do things through Zoom. You don't like to do it that way, and there's a reason. Go ahead.
I don't like to do it that way, and that doesn't mean it doesn't work. For other people, it's fine, but I really feed off of other people, and I want to meet with them in person and have them also feed off of me, because I want to make sure that we're a perfect match to work together.
So you can call her direct. Her phone number is either, so it's 833, and then it's Enerchi. So it's ENERCHI. And then you can also call her direct at 480-369-1683. She's rated with the Better Business Bureau, and she's in Arrowhead. So again, you can call her direct or call in here and get entered in to win. Our number here is 602-277-5369. It's a wellness therapy session of a multitude of modalities that she offers. Okay, we're going to talk again a little bit about the manifestation. Okay. So manifestation, before you came on, you were talking to me a little bit about somebody who you wanted to kind of talk about, who started, like, when you say in the hole, way deep.
Yes, so this is a person where he had been to therapists, he had been to psychiatrists, he had been put on antidepressants, all sorts of drugs, and I was sort of like the last stitch effort to see if maybe I could work. And when I saw this individual, his whole, just to look at him, he was barely picking up his feet. He was slouching. It took him everything just to leave the house. He canceled twice before he saw me because he couldn't leave. Just really in a bad spot. He had been laid off from his job. His girlfriend just left him. You know, back in with mom and dad, broke. Just every possible thing. Oh, had an addiction problem. Started drinking to the point where he was blacking out every night and not remembering, and, you know, having, you know, bottles of alcohol everywhere, and then NyQuil, just things he wasn't even remembering. And I helped him through hypnotherapy, as well as having him tell me, what is it that you want? And he kept saying, well, it doesn't matter, it's not going to happen, everything. And he was so negative. And so I helped him with some energy work, aligning his energy, because it's so easy to have your energies just become sapped when something like that happens. So we did that, we did some hypnotherapy, and then I had him actually, when he could, it took 3 sessions for him to tell me what a perfect life would look like for him. And after 3 sessions, he told me, and then that was less than a year ago, and now he has every single one of those things that he wanted.
So here's the thing that you can do. We can manifest the things that we want in life, but sometimes you can't do this on your own, right?
Right.
It's something that you can. It's not saying that you can't.
But it gets so hard when you are so frustrated and so upset. It is hard to pull yourself out of that unless you are. It's practice.
Let's talk about chi.
So chi is an energy, and that's the universal life force energy in everything. It flows within us. We have meridian gates within our chakras, and if any of those become blocked or spinning too fast or whatever, that can affect how we interact with people. For example, we have our throat chakra here, which is our expression, and if this is blocked, then none of them are going to work correctly, and there's more to that, so I help people.
Let me say this to you. How many people out there can relate to the fact that almost everything that you said blocks from that whatever chakra you were talking about? We all have it. And we are, and a lot of us are dealing with a lot of different anger issues, depression, and all of that, and it all really starts within there. We're going to go to a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk further. You got to check her out. It's Enerchi, ENERCHI.me. Check her out on her website. She's super cool. So we're going to continue talking because we're still live here, and this is how this 30s go. Kind of get it? Okay. So liking it. You like it?
Yes.
Yeah. So the stories are going well, and I think we should come back and kind of enhance on that a little tiny bit for anyone that just tuned in at the break, from the break, and then we'll just keep on going.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Okay. So when you are working with someone, you said in less than a year that he had everything that he wanted. Were the things that he wanted what were they attainable things? Were they
They
things that were
completely attainable, but because he was where he's at and he lost a lot of these things in a very short amount of time, he just, and it had happened before to him. He'd always had troubles with relationships and hanging on to them, and there's reason for that. But so we helped him with that. But they were totally attainable. All he wanted is he wanted to find somebody to share his life with. He wanted to have his own place. He'd like to have a garage where he could tinker with stuff. Like, he did not want $1 million.
right? Right. It would just things.
And he wanted to have a job where he could make money or to get his job back. So totally attainable things. But he was at the place where he was, every single thing in his life was just dropping. Like,
he was so negative
about everything, to the point where, like, every single person, and he had nothing.
Yeah.
And that's what he had stuff like. And so here's where neurolinguistic programming comes in, because he's like, I have nothing, my life is worthless. And so, but he didn't have nothing. So what he didn't understand is he had loving parents with this beautiful home and a lot of space that took him in, gave him almost a whole wing of the house to stay in, and food and all of this, and helping him out. And so that's not nothing. That is having a loving family to back up on. And I can tell you from experience that not everybody has it.
Not everybody does have that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's interesting how you have to look at things, and sometimes when you are at the bottom, and we're going to talk about this when we come back, I'm going to focus on this deep. Is that okay?
Yeah.
When you, and I'm trying to get to it all,
Yeah.
but when you are that deep and that negative, and you can't see past anything else, because it's just so, you're feeling sorry for yourself, right?
Yeah.
And you might have every good reason to, but then you can't see any light whatsoever, right? And so sometimes it takes somebody to kind of talk to you a little bit and show you.
It was.
Here we go. Here we go. So welcome back, everyone. We're talking with T. I love T, and she's the owner of Enerchi, and that's what I love. I love the name of her business. I love her wellness center. What I love too about you is that you work with so many different modalities, and we're going to talk about some of them. Obviously, we talked a little bit about the hypnotherapy, but we also talked about Reiki before. You also do that, guided meditation, manifestation, which we're talking about now, and also the EFT, which is the tapping, which I also want to talk a little bit about. And at the break, we've been talking a little bit to Facebook, to everybody, because when we go to a break, we're still live in here on Facebook, and we've been talking a little bit about how when you are so deep in your own negativity that it's really, really hard to see what you have. Like you said, you were mentioning, and you want to talk a little bit about the person that you were talking about before, who said he had absolutely nothing. Go ahead.
Yeah, so he had come in, and he was saying he had absolutely nothing, was just worthless. Nobody could love him, because why would they love him? Why could he have this? And he just wanted simple things like someone to spend a life with, a home with a garage, and to have his job back. I mean, that's in simplicity. That's what he wanted.
Simple, easy stuff.
And so was just saying he was worthless, and he had nothing. He's nothing. And I helped him through neurolinguistic programming, and all that is called NLP in one word, just reframing your thoughts. Because when somebody says they have nothing, that was inaccurate in his point, because I asked him, you have nothing? And he said yes. And so I asked him where he's living, and he said with his mom and dad. And then he went on to tell me about, and they have such a nice house, and, I feel like I'm, So he had something. He had a mom and dad that were providing him a place to stay and food in his stomach and helping him with his truck payment. That is a huge having something for people that don't have a family. And so that made him reframe a little bit to have a little more gratitude, number one, for his parents, and then to realize that is a huge that is a huge value over money or anything. Family is huge.
And when you want to manifest something, sometimes we need the help of somebody to help us guided meditation. I want to talk a little bit about that you do.
Yes, and so with this individual, I used almost every single modality that I do with him. Tapping is one of them. It's called emotional freedom techniques. I just call it tapping. But guided meditation, helping him to just get out of his own thoughts and thought pattern, and just really relaxing to the point where you're almost asleep but not really asleep, and just really just letting that pressure off of yourself. Like if you could think of a rubber band all wound up, just kind of unwinding that rubber band and just allowing yourself to just be still.
So we've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered into win. This is a wellness therapy session, and it includes a multitude of modalities that she offers. Our number here to call in for that, whether it's you or someone that you know, is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. And I'm going to let everyone call throughout the rest of the show for this. You can check her out on her website. It's Enerchi, so ENERCHI.me. Also, you can call her. It's either 833-ENERCHI, ENERCHI, or you can also call her direct at 480-369-1683. She does do her everything she does in person. All of these are consultations and everything that she does in person, and she likes it that way, and it's probably better off for you too that way. But they are free consultations. You can also see her on Facebook with Enerchi. You can see her there as well. She's rated with the Better Business Bureau. She's super, super, super cool on top of everything else as well. I want to talk a little bit about the tapping, okay?
I wanted to talk about that as well.
Okay, good, because it's important.
So the tapping, the cool thing about the tapping is when people come in and I see that as something that would help them, it's not something they need to see me for. They can do this themselves while they're driving or while they're in the shower or doing whatever. So the tapping is basically just hitting different spots, and I'll show you where that is, and to use the pressure and to affirm things, like saying, even though I have this, we'll say, headache, I completely and deeply love myself. So we'll start with that, and we'll do the tapping, and then they'll say, like, or even though I have these hiccups, I completely and deeply love myself. And there's different things that go with that, but I teach people how to do that, and it is so effective. It's, for me, it's gotten rid of, the first time I really knew that it was super effective was when I used it on myself when I had hiccups that were so violent. They were gone in 10-15 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And you can use this for anything. Emotional freedom, if you're stuck, if you feel for anything, if you have anything.
Well, I'll tell you, when you think about it, it sort of makes sense, right? Because we do have different points on our body. We all know this from, when centuries and centuries ago, when they used to have, Eastern medicine, acupressure and all that. So we know this, and really there's things that we can actually do for ourselves. And you teach that. That's really neat that you do that for your clients as well. And the other thing that I wanted to kind of go over with you is something that is really neat that you're offering soon. And when I told you sometime you're going to have to do this right over the air, it would be so neat to be able to do it. You have to kind of use your mind a little bit, which is kind of neat to be able to do. But you also are including massage and kind of like the hypnotherapy massage, which nobody, you said, is doing. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's doing it right now. I'm calling it hypno massage, and it's coming fall of 2021, and it incorporates the quantum touch and the Reiki, acupressure, and also therapeutic massage, and to relax, and at the same time giving you this wonderful therapeutic massage, also giving you a mental massage at the same time for something, even if you're just coming in because you're having troubles relaxing or anxiety or you're sad, whatever it is that you're coming to see me about, we're going to put the entire mind, body, and spirit all together to be the trifecta.
Well, when you think about this, okay, whenever you go to get a massage, of course first of all, it takes me 30 minutes before I can even relax, right, to get yourself just relaxed. But the other part too, they usually have some nice music. But when you speak and what you're doing, you are really getting inside them. I mean, in many levels, way different, and actually touching them, and that even your energy touching that way. Oh my God, it's got to be phenomenal. I can't wait. I'm in first. Okay.
And so, yeah, just, giving them that massage, and then also bringing them down into the meditation to where my voice will change and it'll be slower like this, and then I'll have them go on a journey. Let's say that we're walking on a beach and you can feel the sand in your toes as you're walking, and just have them really mentally just visualize the things that I'm saying as they're getting a massage. And I am really excited to bring this to the clinic.
Now, we've got our lines open here for everyone just getting entered into win. This is a wellness therapy session. Both men and women. I know sometimes we think that women probably tend to resonate with this, but that is not true. Especially today. I think more people are all more open to looking for something different to help them, because nothing's helping.
I think that probably, it varies from month to month, but most of my clients have been men that have very high pressure careers and own businesses and things like that. That don't particularly really have issues to say, like people would think that, just want to perform better or stop doing just a little something or just relax.
Mm-hmm. And right now there's so many people out there that are dealing with tension, right? We have a lot of tension that's going on. We have a lot of anger issues, things like that. But again, I want to stress, this is a wellness center. So then she uses totally different and several different modalities. From you, obviously, I know that I can't even ask you what's your favorite, I'm going to say for me, I can't even imagine somebody when they come into you, as first as they start to talk to you, they probably end up getting everything from you. Am I correct?
It just depends, because I'm intuitive with people. So, I can sit and talk with them and look at them and be, okay, well, this is where we're at. Like, okay, there's some ancestral DNA that needs to be cleaned up. And so there's different things. So whatever it is, there's a fee for the session, not necessarily for the modality.
Right. But here's the thing about this, though. I want everybody to understand that this is something that's a little different, right? But a little cool at the same time. And the best thing to do is check her out on her website. You can either do it on her website at Enerchi, ENERCHI.me, or you can also go to her Facebook, which is T with Enerchi. And then, of course, you can call in here, get entered into win. Maybe it's you, maybe it's someone you know, and I'm going to let everyone call throughout the rest of the show to get this. It's a wellness therapy session with all the different modalities that will make whichever one's going to work for you. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. I'm excited about the massage coming up through in the fall, because when you just listen to her, I just can't wait to do it, just to come in. I have to come in and have that done, because I just think that it's so neat. And just like while you were talking, it just kind of relaxed me just while I was listening to you right there. And I guarantee you everybody's saying the same thing. Check her out on her website. It's Enerchi.me. She does free consultations. She's rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call in here and get entered into win. It's super cool, guys. Our number here is 602-277-5369.